champ.
Hello.
I hear you. I hear you.
Y'all can
What's
hear
going?
me?
Perfectly.
Can you see me?
I see you perfect.
Uh,
How are you, man? First and foremost, thank you for coming on the show and giving us a bit of your time.
I'm good, man. I ain't never see you hit me up and say come be on the show.
Yeah, man. You
I
see
know
all
you
the
hit me up saying.
messages
I know
piled
you hit me
up.
up saying. Nah, I know you hit me up saying ask me if I was gonna be in Bud and Earl fight, but I ain't never seen you text me like yo I want to get an interview with you because I didn't even go to Vegas for the fight.
Bet, man. I mean, it's cool. We got it going. You're scheduled to fight September 23rd. You were scheduled to fight Montana Love, so let's start there. Uh, how gutted were you, or it wasn't that big a deal, and you just moved on to the next one?
You said was the fight that big of a deal?
I mean, being canceled.
No, it really wasn't. I mean, it was a big of a deal in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like while you in camp, you a few weeks away from the fight. Uh, everything is rolling, and you get the phone call that Montana's injured. That was kind of discouraging, but it wasn't a surprise. But it was kind of like whatever. I thought Eddie would have something lined up for me the same for that July 15th date because we still had a couple weeks, but Eddie was very like he was serious on making the Montana fight. That's what he wanted at the time, and we tried to make it happen. I try to hold off as long as possible because like I said, me and Montana was fighting July 15th, and what was told the matchroom that it wasn't a huge injury, so we thought maybe in the end of July or end of August, then maybe we was thinking early September, then we was thinking the end of September, and now he put posts up on social media that he's back and ready to fight October, and I wasn't waiting until October to wait for Montana. It wasn't that serious, so we wanted to proceed on with my career and keep me active and keep me busy, and I'm not moving on his time, and so we took this fight.
Now, how'd you feel when you see that he posted that he would be a good fight for Ryan? I seen him post that I think yesterday. It's like, did you notice that?
Obviously, yeah, obviously, obviously what he's basically saying is that he didn't really want to fight me because at the end of the day, it wasn't. He said he put up a little thing basically saying, oh, what did he say? He basically said something like along the lines of he thought I wanted to fight, and I go he thought that I wanted to fight, but I go and take another fight, and he left that alone. If that was me, and I got injured or some shit, and then he went and took another fight, and I felt like me and him, and if I was in his position, I would have been calling me out like. Like I want this guy, I want this guy. He took the attention of Ryan Garcia because I feel like that's what he want. He want a money fight. He don't really want a fight like me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the reward and the risk is kind of like it's not really adding up how he wanted to add up.
Speaking of risk versus reward, do you feel that now you put yourself in that situation, taking on a guy like Zepeda, because he's obviously known as a puncher? A lot of people thought he could have got the win in the Ramirez fight. Um, Regis is the only guy that I can think of that stopped him. I'll Google it though. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he's a tough fighter that hardcores know. Not a lot of casuals. It's not like a Ryan Garcia fight, so to speak.
Yeah. So you saying do I feel like it's a big risk?
Yeah, do you feel like you're in that situation now where you're taking the high risk, low reward fight?
I mean, you could say that Zepeda is definitely a tough challenge. Somebody with like for somebody like me with only 16 fights. I don't got the experience he have. He been in main events. He been in world title fights. He's been in with the best 140s in the world. I haven't. even been in the ring with the competition that he's been in. So it's definitely a huge step up in class and experience. But I feel like with my skill set and what I know in the ring, it's just levels above what Zepeda ever been in the ring with. You know what I'm saying? Like he been in the ring with guys that have a lot of professional experience and the guys that are battle tested and been in big fights. But I just feel like when it come to me, the skill level is just out of the world. I feel like Zepeda never been in the ring with a guy that thinks like me or have the abilities that I have in the ring when it comes to just smarts. So I think that he don't have that type of experience. He don't have the type of experience when it comes to a fighter like me. So it'll show on September 23rd that it's experience. Experience doesn't play a key when you have like the talent and skill that I have.
So as I hear you say that, I can't help but think back to the Juan Bowser fight where, I picked you to win. I didn't know you would look that good. I didn't know you would look that composed. I didn't know it would be that easy. Are you saying that you will have one of those type of performances, or do you think it would be a tougher fight than the Juan Bowser fight?
I mean, it can be an easier fight or it can be a tougher fight. We don't know. Zepeda showed when he stepped up in class, he's chinny. You know what I'm saying? Once he stopped fighting, once he started fighting American fighters, and he built up a good career fighting a lot of Latin and guys and Mexican fighters and stuff like that. But once he stepped up, he had good performances with the Josue Vargas performance in the Ivan Baranchik fight. But I feel like the Ivan Baranchik fight, it took a lot out of him. It took a lot out of Ivan too, and it took a lot out of him. Or it just showed that he don't have the granite chin. He been dropped a few times in his career, and I don't feel like it's gonna be an easy fight. I wouldn't say it's gonna be an easy fight, but I feel like I'm preparing, and I'm preparing for a tough fight. But I feel like I said again, with my smarts in the ring and what I and the way I think in the ring is gonna be something like way different from what he ever experienced in the ring. So that's going to play a big factor. And a lot of people don't even haven't even seen the best of me. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even seen what I'm capable of really, because the Bowser fight was kind of like a little a preview, because it was a fight where I was active and I just fought right before that and I got right back in the ring. But this fight, I think that it'll just show like, okay, like even with a veteran, he's still that good. You know what I'm saying?
Now, was there anything behind the thought process of this opponent being a southpaw, since you were already scheduled to face a southpaw in Montana Love, or did it just happen to fall that way and you got lucky because you've been training for a
They've
southpaw
been
for the
saying
last
Zepeda
couple
since.
months?
Yeah, they've been saying Zepeda since right after the Bowser fight. We heard Zepeda name. They threw Zepeda name in there when they was bringing me opponents, and then like I said, Eddie really wanted the Montana fight, but Zepeda was definitely an option, and Sergey Lipnitz was an option. So I think they got to make the fight with Sergey Lipnitz, and that was the fight that was on the table. So they got to make the fight with Zepeda, and once they got to make the fight with Zepeda, it was just like, okay, let's do it.
Now, how do you feel about the fact that it'll be 7 months when you step in the ring, or a little more?
No, I don't think is it. I think
Yeah, I mean you
I
fought.
I, I don't can't even do the math.
Wasn't the Bowser fight
February.
in February? And
Yeah,
it'll be the end of September. You fought February 4th. It'll be
yeah,
your fight will be the
yeah. I mean,
23rd.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to that, but these are things that happened in my career that we can't control, that Eddie couldn't control, or that even when I was made with promotions, things like this would happen, and it was things out of their control where they couldn't keep me active. I felt like uh I felt like Eddie really wanted the Montana fight, and Montana told them false. Didn't some false information. I don't know what was the problem on his side, but he really wasn't knowing. He was kind of telling them that he was waiting on his doctor to clear him or whatever was the case, and he may be ready. So Eddie didn't want to risk me fighting somebody else before Montana, and then I end up getting injured or I couldn't fight till maybe November, December. So Eddie didn't really want to make the fight happen. So I think that's why they kept me out the ring a little longer. But it wasn't Eddie's fault, and Eddie came back with me with a bigger fight, in my opinion, a fight that's gonna give me more respect. And yeah, 7 months out the ring, it is what it is. It's business as usual.
Now, um, not to get personal, but how many fights do you have left?
With Eddie, with Eddie,
Yes, sir. Yes.
with Eddie, this is my last fight with Eddie.
Damn. Because the reason I ask is obviously they in talks with Devin Haney for the Regis Prograis fight. No intelligent promoter is gonna give a one-off fight to let you come to his network, fight his champion, potentially beat the champion, and leave with the belt. So it would have at least been a two-fight deal. And you the only other
Right,
140-pounder over there that comes to mind. Um,
right.
if that possibility comes around where after this fight y'all talk extensions with the opportunity of a Devin Haney fight, are you interested in the winner of actually the winner of because this fight that you're fighting with Zepeda is for a vacant WBC um
Silver.
but which this says super. Oh, silver, okay. So yeah, so
Yeah.
you're potentially in line for that fight regardless.
Yeah, of course. The world title is what I want. The big fights is what I want. And if Devin Haney and Regis Prograis they come to a deal and the fight get official, and we can make that fight happen with either the winner of Devin, I mean with Devin being a winner or Regis being a winner, we definitely would love to make that happen. Obviously, when I fight in September, I want one more fight in the end of the year. So we'll get that one more fight, and after that, I don't think I really don't think it will make any more sense for me unless it's for a world title. And if it's Devin or if it's Regis, let's line it up. Let's come to the table, come up with a deal, and make it happen.
Are you expecting to explore your opportunities, or are you looking to stay where you're at?
Um, I think we'll just see what's out there for real. Like to be honest, I just want to see. We'll see what's out there. I feel like Eddie Hearn is the best promoter in boxing. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's always going to be opportunities at Matchroom, and it's obviously it's opportunities everywhere else. So we'll just have to see what my manager come with. That's why he's on my team to make these smart moves, help me make these smart moves. So
And that being Keith Conley.
yeah,
Salute Keith Conley, man. I hear he's working with Alicia Baumgardner now, right?
yeah, she's another great talent. So that's like big for him too.
So I got a couple questions here from the people before we let you go. First one is from New York City. David Maldonado says, "What's up, champ? How you see Tio versus Ryan and Tio versus Devin? I have Tio beating them both."
Oh, Teal versus Ryan. I got Teal beating Ryan, but I think it would be a little bit more of a chess match, a little bit. Uh, and I got Devin beating Teofimo.
Um, what did you think? Did you expect that performance from Tio versus Taylor?
Nah, I didn't really expect the performance from Teal versus Taylor, but I really didn't know what to expect from Taylor because I really like haven't really seen him fight no style like Tio, and I feel like when I was trying to just like see how he would fight somebody like Tio, and I'm just like I don't really know, but I felt like Tio would lose because he fought Sandor Martin, and Sandor Martin had good distance. He wasn't as long or tall or as rangy as Josh Taylor. Wasn't as better. He wasn't better than Josh Taylor on paper. Santa Martin really wasn't better on paper. So I felt like, okay, like if he had a problem with Santa Martin, like Josh Taylor's definitely gonna be able to beat T.O. easy. But the performance T.O. Fimo had was like, that was crazy. Like he was like really shocked me when I was watching that fight. I'm like, damn, like he made Josh Taylor look like he just couldn't deal with that style. Like it was just too. He was just Teofimo was just too fast, too sharp, too slick. It was just bottom line. He just
Hmm.
didn't know what to do with that type of style.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas. The current 140-pound world champions, Teofimo Lopez, WBO, Rolando Romero, WBC, Subriel Matias, IBF, Regis Prograde, WBC. Which two would you run through easy, and which two would be more of a challenge?
I don't think I'll run through any of them guys. I wouldn't say I would run through any of them guys easy. You know what I'm saying? All of them are world champions for a reason. Obviously, I feel like Rolly's the weakest link because he really didn't fight like a real like he fought a good fighter. The guy, the older guy was a good fighter, but he wasn't like like not like he wasn't like an outstanding type of guy where Rolly beat and we was like, okay, like he deserved to be a champion or he will hold on to that belt for a while. I feel like um Sabir Matias, he didn't really beat nobody for the title neither, but Sabir Matias is definitely one of the toughest guys in the division. I feel like because just of his style. But he also get hit a lot, but it's still like he's still relentless and he's like a machine. So none of them guys are easy. And T.O. is a great young sharp talent, and Regis is just a a great puncher with timing, with good timing. So and you got to watch out. You got to be sharp with Regis at all times. So all of them are tough fights.
I got Saquon Hall. Is Jose Zepeda a more challenging fight on paper than Montana Love?
Yes, yes. On paper, it's definitely a more challenging fight because Zepeda has double. Like I have 16 fights. I feel like Zepeda like almost his knockouts alone doubles that. He's been in tough fights. There's nothing I could say to Zepeda or even bring to the table to even mess him up mentally or for him to be like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. Like I felt like with Bowser, like it was a lot of questions Bowser never answered yet in boxing. He never been in a 10 rounder. He never been in a professional fight with a fighter with the skill set that I had. And a lot of people were kind of saying the same thing as like with me, like, oh, you never fought a fighter like Bowser. But I just felt like I had tougher competition. I already fought tougher guys than Bowser. But Zepeda, I feel like Zepeda been in tougher, like he been in big moments in his career, but he just never fought nobody as skillful as me or that possesses the abilities that I'm bringing to the table with the speed and the speed, the reflexes, the IQ, the defense, the ranginess, everything, just everything I'm bringing to the table for Zepeda is gonna be like something different he never really experienced. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different type of guy from Jose Ramirez or Ivan Baranchek. This is two different type of animals, and he's going to be in the ring with. He never experienced that.
For sure. I got New York Bullet. What up, champ? Who were some of the legends you looked up to that inspired you to box, if any? Blessings, good luck.
Main person that inspired me to box is um Floyd Mayweather. I feel like Floyd Mayweather is like my biggest inspiration in boxing, and every day I wake up and try to reach. I'm just like wanting to reach the heights he touched in the sport, and that's like my biggest motivation because I feel like Floyd is a elite level scientist in the ring, a different type of thinker in the sport of boxing. I feel like he was just he did it with just him with pure hard work, dedication, and pushed his talent to the limit. So I feel like he's definitely like the main legend I ever looked up to.
All right. I got just a few more here. We got Ryan Fraser in Canada, Toronto. He says, what are some of your goals for 2024?
Wait, become world champion. Become world champion and start and become and start becoming $1 million fighter and just cementing my name as one of the faces of boxing, and we still have like a lot of work to do, a lot more hard work to do, and just becoming better as a a person outside of the ring. So because I feel like if I become better as a person outside of the ring, it will affect me. It will affect me in the ring. I think that I would become better inside of my craft. So just fixing a lot of bad habits and becoming a better person.
I got young Pablo. Is Montana Love option still on the table?
I mean, yeah, the Montana Love option is still on the table because uh he's you know he's still one of Eddie's 140s that has a name, and I feel like even with the rivalry that me and him has, like it's still keeping his name alive. You know what I'm saying? And but I feel like depending on how I get this job done on September 23rd, if Montana don't fight before that, he waits and me and him could do it in December, I feel like it would be an option. But if not, and I fight somebody else and next year, I wouldn't really be looking Montana away no more. I would just let him get away, do what he'll do, and unless it's for a world title, it's like really no point of talking.
I got Nate the Alien. What's good, champ? Seeing that you and Tank watched the big event together, have you two ever spoken about the possibility of having a fight against each other? Shout out to you. Looking forward to see how your career grows.
Nah, we never talked about having an opportunity to fight each other. But I feel like if I ever fought when I'm like a guy like that I'm cool with, it's crazy how both of the guys that I'm real friends with, they're like that they're around my weight, but they're like one of the top guys in the sport. It's crazy. But if I ever fought Tank or Shakur, it would be like it'd have to be a mega fight. It wouldn't just be it's just for a world title. I want to go take the belt. I feel like it would have to be a mega fight, and it would have to be like we have the opportunity right now while we're young to make a lot of money. So it'll be like, okay, like let's do it and put our friendship aside and take care of business. But I really want to look forward. I never really talked about finding out my friends because we don't think as that boxing is a dangerous sport. It's a sport where you can really hurt somebody eternally. So I never really think about finding my friends, but it's not something that comes up.
For sure. I got Dre Bogus. Salute. I met Dre Bogus at the appreciation. He says, looking down the line, who do you see as your super fight?
I feel like to be honest, I feel like any fight could be any. It could be anybody as a super fight. Uh, for me, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo, uh, um, Devin. There's a lot of big super fights out there for me. But it's all about me right now, working on myself and building myself, so I could bring leverage and something to the table to where it will become a super fight. Because if I fight if I fight Teofimo or Devin or Ryan, I'm gonna just be somebody that's in the fight. People are gonna know that it's gonna be a good fight because of the hardcore boxing fans. The people that really know boxing. I'm like, oh, that Hitchins kid would really give Devin Haney a fight, or he would give, or he's gonna beat Teofimo because they know boxing. But people from the outside world, they're gonna be like, we never even heard of this kid. Who is this kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I need to build myself more, and that's what Eddie's helping me do right now: build my portfolio and build my stock, so I can be ready for the mega fights in the near future.
I got Flacco 38. What happened with the Love fight? Do you think Love is avoiding you? And by the end of next year, do you see yourself fighting a big name?
I mean, yeah, by the end of next year, I feel like by the mid next year, that's the only option is big name. I feel like Jose Zepeda is a big name. He lost to Regis. That's one of the big Regis, and Zepeda was one of the biggest names in the division. People just with boxing, once you take a loss, if we was talking Jose Zepeda a year ago, they would have said I'm in a huge fight. You know what I'm saying? But because he lost to Regis, people are looking after him, looking past him, like, oh, he's nothing. Hitchens supposed to beat him. But if it was a year ago, they would have been like, oh, he might stop Hitchens, or this is too much too soon for Hitchens. So I feel like Zepeda is a big fight. It's a big name, is a big fight, and I feel like it was gonna be more names like Zepeda or bigger names in the near future.
Last one, champ. Braylon says, why does BoxRec have you as suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely? I'm sure that's just protocol
Yeah, I
after
don't
the
know.
fight.
I don't know what's that about. A few people keep calling me about that, but I don't know about that. I think that's something. I don't know what's that about, but that's gonna get solved. I'm expecting to be in the ring September 23rd, and to my knowledge, I never got suspended because of nothing. So
Word. Plus, that usually happens when you get knocked out and you won the fight. But champ, that's all the
yeah,
questions, man. Like I said, I want to thank you. Well, you did watch the fight. You did bet on Bud. I bet on him too. But did you think it would look like that though?
nah,
Me neither.
hell no.
Me neither. That was crazy.
But that's the point of boxing, though. That's the point of boxing. I learned that. This is how I look at it, Nesto. Everything on a on a smaller scale is the same thing on a bigger scale. You know what I'm saying? Even with my fights now, or in my previous fights, it's been fights that I've been in the past where it was like Malik Hawkins. Oh, this is a 50-50 fight. Oh, this is a good fight. Where the bad odds really had me and Malik like this. Or even with the Bowser fight, I had a lot of guys saying Bowser was gonna beat me, or it's gonna be a it should be this is a big fight, or this is a huge step up. Damn, like I had people calling me right when the fight was announced with Bowser, like, oh, like this is a big one, champ. Like stay focused. Like I already felt I could beat Bowser on my BC game before I even got in the ring with him. I was like, this kid is nowhere near my level, and the same thing with this fight right here. I feel like I'm not saying Zepeda is nowhere near my level, but I just feel like my potential is out the world, and it's always gonna be like that. Even if I fight Devin, they still gonna be like, "Oh, this is a big fight. This is such and such." But I can get in there and make Devin look easy, but and the world would be surprised. I don't think Devin's one of them fighters that I feel like Devin's one of the fighters. And me and him get in the ring, he's gonna step up to the occasion. He's gonna perform on a high level with me. But like I said, like I just feel like it's boxing. Like you really can't be surprised. It's just like that's what the sport is meant to, these people are meant to hype up these fights. You know what I'm saying? Only the fighters really know like, okay, like this is what's gonna happen. And Bud, I feel like Bud was the only person that probably really thought, or other guys or other people in the world probably who really believe what they believe thought that Bud would win the way he did. But us, we never gonna think that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like we that's how it's supposed to be.
So no one has interviewed your boy yet. But I'm sure you've talked to him because Crawford's been on every major radio station. There's no way you and Tank and the rest of the world haven't heard Crawford telling Tank, come up to 47. You said you could tap my chin. You said I got a glass chin. Did you at least text him like, bro, what's all this shit Crawford saying that you said? Because you do know that Tank said a few things like Crawford had a glass shield. Crawford got a glass chin. He'll hit Crawford. He'll knock him out in 6. So that's a super fight. I'm sorry. I know you've already given someone your stance and said that Tank will never fight him, but like, where else is Tank gonna make another $40 million, champ?
I don't know, but Tank and Tank and Tank ain't. I don't see Tank fighting Bud, and Tank got respect for Bud's skills. You know, even when him and Earl was fighting, Tank was giving Bud his flowers. Like he's very very sharp. Like he's a great fighter. And I feel like Tank probably just never. I think that interview was before the Earl fight, and I feel like Tank never really like paid attention to Bud, like or like really like it was one of the moments where Bud showed who he said he was, and Tank respected it as any fighter would. Like, is that's just plain and simple. I don't think Tank would. Uh, I don't know how. I don't know if Tank would dare to be great to go up there. That's not something I never talked to him about. I never heard Tank have talking about going to 147 at all. I just maybe one time with Keith Thurman or some shit he was saying. Maybe I think he was talking about fighting Keith Thurman one time, but I don't know. We'll see.
Duran moved up from 35 to beat Sugar Ray Leonard when Leonard was undefeated and 24 years old.
Yeah,
Duran
facts.
moved
So
up from 35. Then He went 15 rounds with Hagler. Mikey
Right.
moved up from 35. Fought Earl, went 12 rounds with him. Shane Mosley moved up from 35. Fought De La Hoya at 47, beat him. Canelo
Wait, Shane.
moved up
Oh
2
shit. Yeah.
divisions and beat Kovalev. A lot of fighters did it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, so I mean, shit. It's boxing. We'll see. I would love to see. And like I said, and like you said, what? How many more times in this lifetime, Tank or Bug gonna have the opportunity to make $40 million in their life? So this is that would be a big risk for Tank, but it would also be a big reward for him, and it would be like one of his. I mean, I feel like Tank have a lot more opportunities than Bud to make that type of money, but it's like I was saying earlier, like the people that Tank has that potential with, they got to bring stuff to the table, like the Devins and Shakurs and Femos and a lot more people that that has names and can keep building a resume, and maybe one day possibly both of them is able to bring that much money to the table, but we'll see.
Styles make fights. You've been in both those camps, right? Because you know Shakur, so you've been around Bud. You obviously cool with Tank. Is the distance too much of an issue where you would recommend not to take that fight, or do you think Tank can get past Bud's range? Because he would have to land some uppercuts. He would have to do damage from the inside, right? Like it would, because if you think back to the Gamboa fight, it did trouble Crawford a bit. The smaller guy's harder to hit, or you think nah, he's just too big.
I don't know. I would love to see him spar though. That's it. I'd love to see him spar. If they spar, I'll be tuned in.
Bet. Well, that was the last one, champ. I do appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. We wish you obviously the best of luck in this upcoming fight. We know you're gonna pick up that win. Actually, last one came in. Well, no, you pretty much answered that. You pretty much answered that. So yeah, if you want to give out your social media, you can do so at this time. And once again, we appreciate you.
Please follow me on IG at Richardson Hitchins, RICHARDSON HITCHINS. On Twitter, he is Richardson. And September 23rd, I'm back in a huge fight versus Jose Zepeda, two-time world title challenger, and it's gonna be a great fight. Catching on Dazn, September 23rd. We the main event, and I'm expecting to put on a great show.
See, this how big that fight is with Tank and Bud. I got 3 other people asking the same question, different ways. Like your opinion on how competitive, your opinion on how the fight would turn out, your opinion on whether it would go to the decision. You don't have to answer because you already gave a breakdown. But I do want to shout out Marcus, Victor Banuelos, and James Benitez for sending in those questions. Champ, we appreciate you, man. Like I said, good luck on the fight.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Richardson Hitchins.
Family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1,000,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000,000. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.